A few updates ago, the Super Brittle was an extremely powerful tower that could frankly destroy everything with the simple combination, but now it's clearly not as strong, so I want to see if it can still take out Chimps mode with a good amount of power, making it maybe not S tier, but still A tier, or if the tower was just gutted and the nerfs were super heavy and it's just not a good tower anymore. So I'm going to be going on to Flooded Valley Chimps, where this strategy was the strongest. If I recall, it got an LCC of 122,000 cash spare last update, which is a lot. That's kind of crazy. It was done by somebody else. That was actually after the Ryan Mahalik video. I personally did another one. I think I did like 116,000 cash spare, something like that. So yeah, it was very powerful last update, and I know it's super good specifically on this map, not as good maybe on other maps. So for me to say it's still pretty good, I'm looking for 100,000 cash spare, which I think is a pretty manageable goal, so I'm just going to be going for that. Now I'm going to be definitely adding some extra stuff compared to what I did last game. Notably, round 100 is going to need more single target damage, so I decided instead of like going for a bit more support and stuff, I decided to just go all out and just get a second Super Monkey Fan Club, which will do the damage needed for round 100 guaranteed, as well as just being strong on a lot of other aspects. I'm also going to be throwing in a Top Path Mermonkey to buff the Pierce, because I feel like I'm going to be needing a lot more Pierce to be able to get around 98, plus this thing does a lot of damage. Other than that, everything will be the same, if not cut. So that's kind of really the only changes I'm making. So I'm just going to be able to cruise through this. The early game is going to be a lot easier, as I don't have to do some bullshit with ice monkeys, and I can just go for this mermonkey. And I have that sub down there because I was wondering I might want to get reactor later. I could still actually get reactor and get over 100k spare, but turns out I don't need that at all, so that could just be cut as a whole, just be moved somewhere else. It wouldn't really do much more. It would just allow me to kind of have better placements in general. Now, if you're unaware, you might be wondering, why the hell am I getting a Super Monkey Fan Club, or two Super Monkey Fan Clubs? And you say, that tower is utter garbage. Why are you getting it? And that's because it's actually really good. It's actually a pretty good tower when paired with debuffs, so like Super Brittle, for example. It's really strong. Its damage output is kind of crazy, and the cross paths that you give it, so if you have a bunch of 220 dart monkeys, they do a lot more damage than just base dart monkeys. So it's not like I have 10 super monkeys for a short duration. I've got 10 like pierce and attack speed buff super monkeys, and on top of that, the duration's actually pretty good because of primary mentoring. It's pretty cheap also because of primary mentoring, and its damage is kind of just insane with a lot of pierce and attack speed. So overall, it's actually really good when paired with Super Brittle, and the whole Silas Super Brittle not Plasma Monkey Fan Club, just Super Monkey Fan Club, the Super Funky Man Club, as I should say, is just really good. Busted. It did so many crazy things, as I mentioned before. 122k spare on this map, but it also absolutely destroyed other maps too. Specifically, if a Super Brittle could be put in a really good spot, it just wrecks everything. I did some tricky tracks completions where I also got a ton of cash spare back when that Super Brittle was super powerful, and it was actually kind of broken for a good amount of time too, but it obviously got nerfed. It definitely deserved. It was very broken. So if this kid managed to pull through and get a whole lot, which I think I might have spoiled it, it did. Yeah, it got 106,000 cash spare. I'd still say it's still pretty good, and a pretty good option, especially with Silas. You also can get $25,000 Super Brittle. That was another nerf. Silas does not give as good of a discount anymore, which is completely justified because that previous discount was 25% cost reduction. Absolutely busted. So it's a little bit more expensive now, but I'd say that Silas Super Brittle is still definitely a really strong strategy. I think the Icicles, Silas Icicles, might be a little bit stronger. Actually, significantly stronger on most maps. On maps where Super Brittle's better, I think the balance kind of shifts a little bit over to the Super Brittle, but there's still some really good Silas strategies, so that's kind of just the cool thing about it, I guess. Now, in this run, continuing on, I get that Mermonkey, and I go for the primary mentoring, and you'll be wondering, why in the world are you buying 310 ice monkeys? That's stupid ice shards. What is ice shards even doing? And the answer is that it does no damage whatsoever, nor does it really slow anything. The ice shards really don't do much. The whole reason of that is to get Silas level 20 by round 98, which is, it costs a little bit to get there. It's not really that much because the primary mentoring, but because Silas gains extra XP for more tier 3 ice monkeys on the screen, I'll be able to get level 20 Silas for round 98, to which you would normally not be able to do. Now, out of all of the things in this run, I feel like that is something that would most likely be able to be cut while giving the most significant buff. And I don't really use the ice wall a whole lot on other rounds. I guess it kind of comes in clutch for round 100. But on round 98, I kind of just had a really easy time. It might be a little bit brutal without it, because it really did knock back a significant amount, and I guess the other tier 3 ices, it helps with the shards, but I kind of just feel like 98 would be possible without having the level 20. 99, you just bullshit your way through that or something, and around 100 probably will be a little bit close, but if anything, you could buy some extra darts and make up for the cost completely fine. So that's just something that I kind of noticed. If there is anything that you could fix, which I definitely think this run's not optimized, obviously, like to a superficial amount, but if you were to optimize it, I would probably try to cut those extra ice shards and go for a non-Silas level 20 completion of round 98 with a bunch of RNG and bullshit and have fun time smashing your head against the wall, and then you'd probably still be able to get like 112,000, I don't know how much, like 111,000 something cash spare. It would still be pretty crazy if you could pull something like that off, but I definitely think it's possible. So yeah, this strategy, I guess, still works wonders, and Super Brittle, honestly, still is doing a pretty great amount of damage, which is kind of crazy. So if anybody wants to have fun doing that, go straight for it. But I'll ask a little bit of question in the meantime while this is going through. A lot of these rounds are quite boring. I kind of just sat around pressing occasionally the Super Monkey Fan Club ability. And also with 2 Super Monkey Fan Club abilities, everything's so chill. You have nearly full uptime with it. So that's a much bigger improvement to what I was kind of working with last time without it. But I'm wondering if anybody really used the Silas strategy, or just Silas strategies in general last time when they were super OP for like black borders or whatnot, and kind of how those went. They were plentiful. There's a lot of them that you could do. You could do double this, double that, Silas with this, Silas with that. Silas, Golden Justice, and Preemptive Strike honestly were super fun. I think those were my favorite to use. Still pretty powerful, I would say. I mean, Silas in general, I still feel like is a really powerful hero, and even if I say like even super powerful, I'd still say underrated in terms of strength compared to like what people are using him with. So I'm just kind of curious what people did with Silas when Silas was a lot more OP compared to what now, if you like stop using Silas, or if you kind of figure out how to use Silas and Chimps and all that kind of stuff. I honestly thought Silas was super fun, and his strategies are just super cool, and there's a lot of them that you can do. Either way, I'm going into the 90s, and you can kind of see the cash spare kind of piling up right now. All these rounds, honestly, just not very difficult. I think I died on round 94 one time. Yeah, I just used the abilities at a little better time, and it kind of works. 95, I was hoping wouldn't be too much of an issue, but I don't really even have to use my abilities. I kind of just put one Super Monkey Fan Club up, use the second one, everything goes down. Not a problem at all. And Super Brittle's just dealing with all of this stuff on 96, and I can get my Super Monkey Fan Clubs again, Super Funky Fan Clubs up again. Super good. 97, if anything, was probably took the longest, I want to say, out of all things. 97. I just wanted to keep all my abilities up for 98, so that's why I was pretty cautious on 98. I eventually got lucky, and Super Brittle just kind of destroyed all the insides of that ZOMG. So that's how I took that down. Again, 98 super easy. 99, I guess it's luck, but I took it down pretty quickly. And around 100, it was a little bit worrisome, but because I have 2 Super Monkey Fan Clubs up, I actually could have gotten significantly more damage out just by placing a few extra Dart Monkeys and getting them up with one cross path to do some damage. But anyways, yeah, 106,000 cash bear, still really, really strong, And this run was actually super easy. You could improve this by quite a bit. So yeah, I guess the result of this experiment is that Silas is very good still, and I guess not really much has changed past that. A lot of Silas strategies still are really good even after a big nerf.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!